In today's video, we're going to be talking about why you should or should not buy a Jeep Wrangler, that is. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. Some of the pros and cons of buying a Jeep. Well, number one, I'm going to give you a con. They're pretty expensive. This is a 95 model. It's in really pristine condition for as old as it actually is. Compared to a lot of other cars. Good old Jeep Wrangler here. One of the pros is that, yep, she's metal. Another one of the cons is that you can see right here, this is a short wheelbase. And I'll go around to the back here so you guys can see this as well. She's very narrow this way as well. So you're looking at something that, you get this thing above 50 miles an hour, she gets a little bit unstable on the unstable side there. The drop hitch on this thing down here, though, too, is actually too low to the ground, come to find out. Most Jeeps are jacked up, for those of you guys who haven't ever actually seen those. But these Jeeps right here, the Jeep Wrangler, which are actually Jeeps, those of you guys who call these Jeeps, who call your little oversized Blazers and stuff Jeeps and everything because it says Jeep on it, even though they're made by Dodge. Dodge may call them Jeeps, but this is a real Jeep right here. I don't know why people call them trucks too. These are not trucks. They make the Hummer trucks and stuff though, but for some reason people call their SUVs trucks, and it just doesn't make any sense. That over there, that is a truck. Don't know why people seem to think and call these trucks and call other things trucks, like they're SUVs. But getting back into the pros and cons of this thing, it's got a V6. This is not a V8, it's a V6. For those of you guys who own Jeeps and the ones who don't, it doesn't really matter to me. I know some of the modern day ones do have the V8s and stuff in them, but she's made more for off-roading than she is anything. We used to have a 46 Willys as well, which, man, I regret getting rid of that thing. But that was years and years ago. One of the particular, could be a pro or con depending on who you are, soft top. And I would just call it more of a con. Harder to take down, harder to take off than a hard top would be. In the wintertime, she gets really cold. You don't take it to the car wash because obviously it'll flood through with that kind of water going through it. If it's raining, it's fine. But if it's raining, that thing sure does get awful cold on the inside. Let me tell you what, if it's a cooler day and it's on the inside, let me show you guys the inside of this thing here real quick. Got my camping cot in there as well, but add the steering wheel cover. But look at this old girl right here. Look at the speedometer and everything there. I really need to get this fixed because it'll go from working to not working to working. I give it some gas and then it starts working again. But the inside, it's got the back seat back here as well. You can peel it down there, but obviously there's no doors back there, so you got to open it up. Open one of these seats up by pulling them forwards on the inside to let them in. The other thing about this thing, the seat's awful floppy. I really want to put a different set of aftermarket seats in this thing as well. Maybe even some air ride seats. She's a little bit rough riding there. And of course you got the good old zipper windows. Other thing about being soft in this canvas and everything right here, the old zipper windows. Kind of neat, but at the same time, this thing doesn't have a very good This thing basically has no AC in it. I mean, it'll blow, but it doesn't blow very good. The heater in it works, but like I took it to a friend's house for a party he was having here years ago and everything. And this thing, because it's kind of icy out and stuff, a lot better taking this thing because of traction purposes and everything. And this thing here, let me tell you guys something. It handled it, but I bet this thing ran for 45 minutes before it started getting warm on the inside, so I definitely had to make sure to start it up and everything before I left. But I need to put some new tires on it as well. But go ahead from this side now. Show you guys this. This would be your passenger view if you're on the inside of this. Been kind of giving you guys some pros and cons as I've been making this video. It does have seat belts. I know that's a lot of people's concerns with some of these things is older vehicles. I'm talking like in the 50s, but I've seen some Jeeps where people take their seat belts out of them. I never did understand that. It's just insane to me. Got that old brownish cream colored dash like so many vehicles around this age does. Old visors, which I never did understand why visors don't really do you much good. She gets a little bit tricky to see out of too if it's really foggy because the windshield isn't exactly the biggest thing in the world to see out of. It looks like it's bigger than what it really is. Oh, canvas soft top thing, and obviously this side is just like the other side, the zipper windows, and don't have a whole lot to say about it. They are a lot of fun, but I will say this as well. The Jeeps in general are really expensive. Actually, this one, before I could put it on the road, I actually took it to be road legal. I actually ended up putting I gave $4,500 for it, had to put another $3,500 into it to make it road legal. Well, to be able to pass the inspection, not like road legal like I was an off-road monster, but I actually had to do that. And the exhaust was $2,000 of that because the exhaust on this thing, I'll show you guys down here. This pipe right down here. That hasn't been on there but maybe about 1.5 years now. Had to rework that whole exhaust. Had a professional exhaust shop do that because it was it was definitely worth having it done though, and it's amazing how much better. But it was so rusted up underneath there that the muffler and everything was about to fall off of it, because the guy that I ended up buying this thing off of actually had it set in a kind of a field. He always parked out there. I mean, it was running obviously, but it's kind of rusted up. But that was the only thing on the underside of it, which is crazy to me, was kind of rusted, was that muffler, and I couldn't really figure out. The other thing is the gas tank is set back really far too. You know, the gas tank's right here on the very back. The short wheelbase. This thing's a lot of fun. If you guys want something that you can kind of dodge in and out of, you know, kind of tight spaces and everything with, I recommend getting this particular style of Jeep if you're looking at buying a Jeep. They're all going to be expensive no matter which one you get, unless you just get one that's a complete piece of junk. So this is definitely something that I would suggest you guys definitely look into something more like this and everything. Because this thing here, Jeeps in general are just fun. I've taken this thing off-roading a lot. It's been mudding out a few times. The one thing I would like to do eventually is actually lift this thing up, put a little bit bigger tires on it, put some mud trans on it all the way around. The other thing that you have to remember about the Dodge product line of everything, though, Jeeps and everything, is those front ends are notorious for going out, and transmissions. Jeeps aren't quite as bad as Dodge pickups, I will give them that, but the overall idea is that, and this one's had some front end work done on it now too and everything. So overall though, would I buy this Jeep again? Yes, I would. Do I think other people should buy them? Absolutely. I'm a Chevy guy first, but Jeeps are a whole nother level of fun. You guys can get into it and everything. By all means, do it. I know money can be a little bit tight right now, but I know I've kind of rambled on and on in this video. Jeeps are absolutely something that you guys should look to invest into. So with that being said, I'm Jared with JNR Exploration Discovery. God bless each and every one of you. Hopefully something in this video encourages you to go out if you wanted to buy a Jeep, to finally pull the trigger on it and do it. Until next time, guys, subscribe and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads.